eyes of Lucy Jordan in a white suburban bedroom, in a white suburban town. As she lay there 'neath the covers, dreaming out 1,000 lovers, till the world turned to orange and the room went spinning round. At the age of 37, she realized she'd never ride through Paris in a sports car with the warm wind in her hair. So she let the phone keep ringing as she sat there softly singing pretty nursery rhymes she'd memorized in her daddy's easy chair. Her husband, he was off to work, and the kids, they're off to school. And there were oh so many ways for her to spend the day. She could clean the house for hours, or rearrange the flowers, or run naked through the shady streets, screaming all the way. At the age of 37, she realized she'd never ride through Paris in a sports car with the warm wind in her hair. So she let the phone keep ringing as she sat there softly singing pretty nursery rhymes she'd memorized in her daddy's easy chair. Evening sun touched gently on the eyes of Lucy Jordan on the rooftop where she climbed when all the laughter grew too loud. And she bowed and curtsied to the man who reached and offered her his hand, and he led her down to the long white car that waited past the crowd. At the age of 37, she knew she'd found forever as she rode along through Paris with the warm wind in her hair. Why'd you do what you did? Why'd you do what you said? Why'd you do what you did? Why'd you do what you said? Why'd you do what you did? Why'd you do what you said? Why'd you do what you did? Why'd you do what you said? Why'd you do what you did? Why'd you do what you said? Why'd you do what
It's an open book now.
Yeah, yeah.
You want to know about somebody?
It's so funny. Yeah, I mean, it's not that it's funny that they all died, but you know, it was just, it was a very, and that was my nuclear
Right, yeah.
family, and that was, it's a bizarre thing, and so that is, you know, is she clairvoyant? I guess, or it's just Google,
all
but
there. It's just on Google.
Yeah, you saw that my father was commissioner of narcotics, and
I said, daughter of a narc. Oh my God.
well, he was for a while. He was an ADA under Frank Hogan,
Yeah.
my father, and I'm proud of him for refusing. He was one of the people who refused to prosecute Lenny Bruce.
Yeah.
And refused to prosecute Billie Holiday while she was in the hospital.
Very good.
But then, and this is something, then he became a judge later on. That's how, when I knew him,
Right.
he was a judge.
Right.
And he had, his last famous case was the Jack Henry Abbott case.
Right,
and But when he was...
Norman Mailer's protege.
Yes.
He wrote to Norman Mailer in jail, and Norman sprung him, and
Yes.
he got out and he murdered someone.
And he murdered someone.
And used the bathroom.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And, you know, my mother would see him on the news and she'd say, I can't believe he's wearing that coat, you know, because my father was not the most stylish man in the world. So, but I knew that he was commissioner of narcotics under Rockefeller, and I knew he had told me that one time he was a Columbia alumnus, and he had debated Allen Ginsberg about drugs, I think in the maybe in the late 60s or early 70s.
Yeah.
And I said, what happened? What did you do? Like, he said, well, afterwards we went out for drinks. And I thought, oh, that's funny. My father barely drank, but you know, but what I didn't know until later on, much after he'd passed on, my mother said, I'm very ashamed to tell you this. I never told you this before. This is sort of my mother's voice. I don't know why I always do my mother like this, but she,
impersonate her.
yeah, she knows. She said, your father wrote the Rockefeller drug laws. And I said, what? That's horrible.
Do you tell Penny Arcade and all the people downtown?
I think I did tell them that. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's. I'm hoping that he was just transcribing what Rockefeller told him. I thought, this is awful, because he was a liberal Democrat, you know, and my mother was an extreme liberal Democrat. I mean, from her teenage years in Rochester, and you know, going on, you know, anti-nuclear marches and being such a huge Kennedy supporter and a civil rights supporter. She knew Michael Schwerner. She told me she had lunch with him like right before he went.
That was killed.
Yeah, in the Mississippi.
Yeah, right. I know about that.
Yeah, she was a very staunch Democrat, and you know, she loved.
She's a psychologist.
She was a social worker, a psychiatric social worker, and then she started working. Just this, you know, poor Italian, Polish Catholic girl from Rochester who got a fellowship to Columbia and met my father, converted to Judaism because he didn't care, but his parents did, and she wanted to. She liked it. We weren't observant in any way, other than I had to go to yeshiva for what purpose I don't know, but I did. So right down the block here, Ramaz, and B'nai Jeshurun, which was a.
Did you feel like an outcast, or like you were from Mars or something?
I think there were enough people from Mars that I felt, it felt strange. Like, you know, ultimately you find your people, and I found some great, wonderful friends who also loved rock and roll and the Rolling Stones, and you know, some great teachers there was one teacher, Dr. John Jacoby, who taught a senior elective course called Hippies, Yippies, Commies, and Rock. And he was great. He was you know, an anti-war protester, and you know, he had been, and so you find your niche. And it wasn't. We did find ways to cut davening or prayer, which was mandatory twice a day. We'd hide. My friend and I would hide in the bathroom.
And did they restrict your diet too?
Everything was kosher, and we had to wear skirts below the knee.
Oh my God.
Girls. And this was the 80s when the miniskirt was back in vogue. So I was like I didn't do anything. I didn't do drugs. I didn't have sex. I didn't drink, except for one time during the high school dinner dance where I was in the choir and we performed, and we'd always perform at the Waldorf. And it was where the parents would all pay X amount of dollars and go to the Waldorf. And one year, I think my junior year, they allowed the students to just go to the bar. And I thought, wow, this is crazy, this is great. And I got drunk, and I couldn't go on stage, and my parents were like, where's Tammy? I don't see her. And I said, oh, I was sick. But, you know, I never was a big drinker, but I'd always get in trouble, especially for wearing skirts that just, as they skirted the, you know, skirted the knee, because I wanted to wear those mini skirts, so, which I did to parties and stuff, but, you know.
That reminds me of our best dancer when I was in grade school or high school maybe. She had to go, she was sent out to the principal for wearing falsies. She was,
oh my God.
it reminds me that she was a beautiful woman.
Yeah.
She was a dancer. She even had a dance school, and yet they sent her to the principal for exaggerating her boobs.
That seems, you know, yeah, I mean, what harm could,
what harm could it
yeah, exactly. So I, you know, but I don't know, I think I would get in trouble, and I thought, but I'm not really doing anything. I'm not even doing, I'm not even enjoying the trouble. I'm not like, so that's kind of, you know.
Yeah, well, don't they usually separate the men from the women?
They do. This was more modern Orthodox, so they do in prayer, in davening, when you're.
They didn't even let them in the same swimming pool.
Oh yeah, we didn't even have a swimming pool, but you know, they couldn't. There were no dances. There were no school dances. No. God forbid. So I mean, thank heaven for Sweet 16s and things like that. You know, where you could dance. So.
Right. So back to country music. I want to ask you this question about everybody having a broken heart in country music.
Oh yeah.
And do you think women have it worse than men?
I don't know. I think women are more. I mean, we're conditioned to be more open about it, I think, than men. But if you listen to, let's say, George Jones, I think one of not only the greatest country singers, but one of the greatest singers of all time. His heartbreak is just as palpable as Tammy Wynette's, who was also, I mean, they were married and I think caused each other a lot of grief, but perhaps he caused her a little more than she did. But I think everybody has their heart broken, and I think women are just more, I don't know, I don't want to, you know, have, you know, perpetuate any stereotypes, but I think as society, we women are conditioned to allow their emotions to affect them more than men, which is why the paradigm is the man is stoic and I don't want to talk about it, and the woman is like, I want to talk, you know. So I think, but in music, and especially in country music and even in rock and roll, the man can have as much heartbreak. You know, from the Beatles, I'm a Loser, and, you know.
For sure.
Yeah, so,
right.
But,
right.
You know, but, you know, women, I think, are still, to a degree, second-class citizens,
so, yeah.
Given that we haven't had a woman president yet.
You think we're going to?
I hope so. I mean, I really want Hillary to be the Hillary that I want her to be. And I don't know if that's possible in politics. You know, you know, you want somebody uncompromising, and you want somebody to, you know, fight for the disenfranchised and for all the rights that everybody deserves. And
well, we expected Barack to do it, but he didn't.
He did. I think he couldn't, you know, and I think he's so measured, and he has to be, because otherwise they would vilify him even more. And I think that any Republican backlash against Barack is racism. I just think that that's what it is. And I think, you know, like the letter to Iran, that's horrible. You know, going behind the president's back to just, it's.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Oh, when the 47 Republican senators a few weeks ago wrote a letter to Iran saying, whatever, you know, whatever the president says, or whatever, you know, deal we make with you, it's not going to hold up, or something. It was just very disrespectful, to say the least. so it's been it's a hard road for him, I think, and I think that he isn't an excitable human being. I think that he does see all sides, and I think that that's a problem that I think liberals have even more than conservatives, is that you tend to want to see all sides and to weigh things equally and to be fair to each constituency and to understand each point of view. And I think those hardline conservatives are like, this is what it is, this is how it is, this is who we are, and that's an easier message for certain people to accept, you know, just black and white, literally and figuratively.
Okay.
So, or
right.
maybe
Is there-
just figuratively.
Is there any current issue that you'd like to speak out of?
Oh
about?
God,
Anything
I don't know.
that's on your mind?
No,
What do
you know, I just, no, it's horrible what I just thought this morning, because I was watching one of the, you know, MSNBC.
Yeah.
Because the Law and Orders were over this morning, and I'm obsessed with Law and Order. And I was watching Howard Dean, who I always like, and why does he have to have the rug on his head? He doesn't need it. It doesn't make him look better, it makes him look silly. You know, I'm really not for the hair pieces. That's gonna be my issue.
Okay.
Men, liberate yourselves. You don't need it. You look great.
Baldy is in anyway.
Just however you are, you know, it's like the plastic surgery that, you know, where, you know, people can't move their, especially women, they can't move their faces. And it's just, it's inconceivable. But, you know, there are pressures and people feel inadequate and feel pressured. And
I have a friend who does that, and she says people treat you better.
yeah.
She's naturally wrinkled, and when she has her Botox,
Mhm.
she says people treat her better.
Yeah, and it's a shame.
It's a shame, yeah.
Because I think
Yeah.
people look beautiful, you know, and but what can you do?
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, physical appearance is the first thing we see when we see another human being.
Yeah.
How they look. They don't open their mouths. They don't talk.
No,
How
they
look, what they wear, or how they look.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just a fact, and I think it's
Right.
been a fact since time immemorial. For you know,
Always.
Helen of Troy.
Right.
You know.
Right. Okay, so where are you performing now, and what's up next?
Up next is I'm doing a Marianne Faithfull show at Joe's Pub on June 14th at 7 p.m. and it's just with Barry Reynolds and Kevin Salem, who you saw at the house party.
Yeah,
it was
did.
just acoustic,
I did,
and it's more of a retrospective of her career. It's not one album. Starting from the 60s, you know, the kind of sweet little pop ingenue, and
Yeah, right.
then becoming Mick Jagger's consort, and
Right.
then the 70s heroin addicted years, where she
Yeah.
did some very lovely and very odd country in music, you know, like British and inflected
Which albums
country.
were those?
Those were Rich Kid Blues, and there were some, they had different titles, and had a lot of them had the same songs, Dream in My Dreams, and then she broke out with her own Broken English, which was her statement of who she was and who she is, and through there. And we're calling it Marianne Faithfull Laid Bare, which is, Bob Merlis, my publicist, came up with the title because I wanted to call it Unplugged, because I wanted, the picture is, the famous and partially apocryphal story about her is that when the Stones were busted in 1967 at Keith Richards' house, and they had just done acid,
Yeah.
that she was discovered wrapped in a bearskin rug.
I heard it was Anita Pallenberg, wasn't it?
She wasn't there, I think. It was just Marianne.
Okay,
And
Marianne.
she went from this, you know, little
Yeah.
pop princess
Yeah.
to kind of a, you know,
Decadent. Right.
X-rated, and there was the allegation, which wasn't true, that Mick Jagger was discovered eating a Mars bar out of her nether regions. And that wasn't true, but she was in a rug.
Yeah.
So I wanted to call it Unplugged and be in a picture holding a Mars bar, and as though I had just unplugged them. But Bob Merlis came up with Laid Bare, which is better because it's
Better, yeah.
bearskin rug,
Right.
laid bare, laid, all the
Yeah, right, right,
implications. So we'll see how that goes.
Okay. So if people want you for a part,
Oh, just call me. I'll do anything.
You have Facebook?
I have Facebook.
And how else do they get in touch?
They can email me. Should I give my email address or?
Yeah, we can run it over the show if you want. But
Okay.
You can also say where to get in touch with you, what kind of things you like to do.
Oh, anything.
Kind of art or
Anything.
You're singing beautiful singing voice.
Oh, thank you. You know, anything that's really, I'll do anything. You know, I don't want to be, you know, just anything. I don't even want to say what I don't want to be, because then that's so negative. You know, we want to bring love and light. So, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
I should, you know, be nice to get paid. That's all.
Sure.
You know,
Every human being needs to get paid.
just to get paid, and
Right.
you know, as long as I don't have to schlep, you know,
Right.
or if I have to schlep, just, you know, I need just a nice hotel. That's all. Just a
Right.
nice hotel room with cable and a
Right.
coffee maker and a bathtub.
Right.
That's all.
Okay.
I'm really Eloise at heart.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you,
That was
Thelma. You're so
Starlight.
sweet.
That was a wonderful interview, and we have quite a bit of it. Can I cut?
We have our modern day Pete Seeger here, Mr. Steve Earle. And I thought this song was appropriate to dedicate to all grand juries past and future. It's called Where Have All the Flowers Gone? So you can sing along if you know it, because you probably do. And if you want to take a flower and risk the thorn, go for it. I know Jackie's always into risking. For a little bit of a puncture. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time passing. Where have all the flowers gone? Long time ago. Where have all the flowers gone?
See you when I get there, Pete.
Tammy Faye Starlight and Steve Earle. Thank you.
Much weed